Making his breakthrough debut with his album Ology, Christopher Gallant has received praise from the likes of The Guardian, rating his album a 4 out of 5, and even stating, "If this is what the future of R&B looks like, it's brighter than ever." Also, Entertainment Weekly named this album one of the 25 best albums of 2016 so far. A year later, he collaborates with the Korean stars Eric Nam as well as Tablo to create Cave Me In. My name is Kwaku Asafu Ajay, and welcome to Music Friday. Gravity makes wonders, but it doesn't seem to wait. Float like clouds on water, with waves across an open plain. Woo! Alright, so next review. I'm starting a new series, Music Fridays or Music Review Fridays. And in this music review, taking a look at another one of my favorite songs that is out that I just discovered, honestly. Like I wasn't big into Korean R&B slash, I'm big into R&B, which this artist that I'm about to talk about, you see in the thumbnail and you heard it in the intro slide. This artist is Gallant. He's an R&B artist. He's actually from my area, or at least he was born in my area, the DC area, DMV area. And he's a 26 years old artist, and he made a song called Cave Me In with Eric Nam, Korean artist, as well as Tablo, another Korean artist. And yeah, it's a really good song. It's an R&B song, and here's a snippet of the song. Alright, so starting off, as usual in these videos, I've done one of them so far, and the first video was actually Lupe Fiasco's Allen Forever, and it had a story behind it, a deep story behind it, because Lupe tends to tell like narrative music. That's what he tends to do, and so I'll put it in the actual, it's like reversed here. I'll put it in the little information thing up there, the old video. And I'll actually put at the end as well, just so that you guys can hear the other one that I did. But this one, Cave Me In, featuring Eric Nam, Gallant, and Tablo. I don't know how you say it, but someone's gonna correct me because it's the internet. Yeah. So he starts off in the intro, Tablo. He says, "You got me feeling like," and then he goes into a little R&B, ooh, and then he says, "You get me lifted like, let's go," and then that's when the song starts. And then Gallant jumps in and says, "These flies on my window are winners in a losing game. Dip, tuck, roll, and hover. Barely seeing a season change." They barely see a season change. So according to Rap Genius, because honestly, it's the one website that really digs really deep into lyrics of music, but it's community based. Rap Genius, someone says here, one contributor says, "These flies on my window are winners in a losing game." Means that since flies have a short lifespan of a month, he's equating that in a short fling as opposed to a long-term relationship. He is equating that to a short fling as opposed to a long-term relationship. These have feelings that are considered winners by avoiding emotional attachment and pain because in the bigger picture, love is inevitably a losing game. So that's what he says, that these flies on my window are winners in a losing game. So that's what he says in that part. Whether I agree with it, I don't know. What I take from that first line right there, the first line of Gallant's verse, is when he says these flies on my window are winners in a losing game. Actually, it kind of makes sense. Now that I'm thinking about it, kind of makes sense. But my first glance was like, oh yeah, these flies on my window are winners in a losing game. Basically, he gets women or whoever he's with thrown at him, and it's like flies attached to a window. Say this pop filter flies are like attaching to it, so flies are just constantly attaching to it, and for them to score, and that's about it. And that's pretty much it. Winners in a losing game. So that's what I thought about it. But now that he's saying that because flies don't last that long, you might be in a relationship with someone that may seem romantic, but it actually only lasts a very short period of time, and it's almost like a quick fling, So, and then he goes into the next part. It says here, the pre-chorus from Gallant. He says, While you and me live like birds on a power line, hands gripping and our fingers fried, God bless those northern lights and our own devices, babe. Entropy multiplies, clocks ticking, and I'm mortified, cause in the back of my mind, in the back of my hemisphere. And then he goes into his chorus, baby, I want you to cave me in. So what Rap Genius says for the entropy multiplies, clocks ticking, and I'm mortified. It's a very huge argument what people think about it. One person, JK, this is literally his name, and I'll put, as usual, I'm gonna keeping the whatever they say like right in front of me. JK says the order of things is becoming lesser and things are becoming more unpredictable, so he's scared and more as more time goes by. So that says entropy multiplies, clocks ticking, and I'm mortified. Based on what that says for just that little section, because you got to kind of use context clues from the previous part, I'm seeing that it says clocks ticking and entropy multiplies, clocks ticking, and I'm mortified. Maybe he's mortified that the relationship, maybe like they said, relationship's becoming unstable, unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen next, whether you could break up tomorrow or you could just continue, and it's unhealthy for him. Maybe that's what he's saying. I'm not sure. And then it says, because in the back of my mind, in the back of my hemisphere, and basically, your head is a certain, you have, hemispheres. Your head is like a sphere, not really, but it's round. I'd hope. And so, in the back of your head, back of your hemisphere, someone says, JK also says, he could be referring to the part of his brain called the left cerebral hemisphere. The left hemisphere is dominant with regard to language and logical processing, but it also could be a play on words from where he mentions the northern lights. The northern lights are located in the northern hemisphere Earth. Someone also says, I disagree with you in that it's the left side of the brain. I don't believe that there's sufficient enough evidence to denote that it's a hemisphere in particular. Rather, it's referring to the back of the mind in particular. He also does left necessarily denote north. I do not believe that to be the case. So there's an argument there. I can't really say much on it, but it's a good song in general. And one of the two last things I'm going to cover in this song review is basically the chorus, because that's one of the biggest parts of it. And the chorus is basically what I tried to sing in the beginning. Don't judge me. And he's like, baby, I want you to cave me in, so maybe I won't have to admit it. So he repeats that twice. And what people think, this is from Nathan Go. I'm reading everything off Rap Genius, and then I'm deciphering it for what I think it means. So Nathan Go says, that chorus, baby, I want you to cave me in, so maybe I won't have to admit it. And I'll also play it right after I say this. He thinks it says, tied to the verse that Gallant sings above, the term cave me in refers to Gallant's lover confessing his or her feelings for Gallant. The confession will cave Gallant in by causing his emotions to collapse and fall apart because he is so overwhelmed. Just like how a building caves in by collapsing upon itself. The lines Gallant sings after cave me in supports his interpretation. If Gallant's lover caves him in by confessing his or her loves, Gallant won't have to take the first leap by confessing and potentially risking rejection. In other words, he won't have to admit it. Similarly, if Gallant's lover confesses his or her feelings, Gallant will know that his lover feels the same way about their relationship that he does, allowing the couple to begin exploring their feelings for one another. If Gallant confessed first, his lover might have rejected him, which is true, causing Gallant to forget the heartbreak that he would feel, causing Gallant to want to forget the heartbreak that he would feel. Again, in other words, Gallant won't ask to forget it. So I'll read the verse out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to sing the verse out. So he's like, baby, I want you to cave me in, so maybe I won't have to admit it. Baby, I want you to cave me in, so maybe I won't have to forget it. So when he says that, he wants that person to cave him in, so he won't have to ask to forget it. It kind of makes sense that he's trying to hope that the person will confess love instead of him. That way it makes it easier and you don't have to deal with the next step, which is if you did it and they rejected you, how would you feel, which is pretty rough. So it's a cool thing. And then last thing I'm going to do is cover in I'm gonna cover Eric Nam's chorus. So Eric Nam's chorus is "Cause you and me live like birds on a power line, hands slipping and our fingers fried. God bless those northern lights and our own devices, babe. Entropy multiplies, clock's ticking, and I'm mortified. Because in the back of my mind, in the back of my hemisphere." So I covered this already, but this is Eric Nam doing this part. So it's all really good. Gallant did the first part of the chorus, and then Eric Nam did the next pre-chorus. And basically, it's a repeat. It says here, "Cause you and me live like birds on a power line, hands slipping on our fingers fried." As if you're hanging on a power line, and power lines are supposed to shock you when you put your hands on it. So when your fingers are fried, your fingers are holding on the power line, and you're getting shocked. So your fingers are getting fried, especially if you're fleshy. And then JK, wow, he's really doing well, or he or she's doing really well. "Birds often can be found sitting high on high voltage power lines unharmed. He's comparing his love to the power lines, and they are resting on the lines. But unlike birds, it is harming them as they continue to sit and endure the pain. Example, their fingers are fried from the shock, even if they're barely holding on to what they have. Example, hands slipping." So their relationship's like on a power line. It's an illusion, not illusion. It is not a simile. God, what is it? It's a metaphor. And it's basically the relationship. The longer he sits in a relationship, the more trouble it's gonna be. That's what I take it as. And so when you put your fingers on a power line, other than birds, when you put your fingers on a power line, that's the more you endure the pain. You're enduring pain, and anything can happen at that point. But that song it's a really good song to me. Like I said, I'm gonna keep playing little pieces of it in it, but that song is a really good song to me. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I will also be putting the song at the end reel, at the very end of the video, a link to it, and I'll also be I'll support the artist too, and I will also put a place to go check it out on like iTunes or wherever you decide to buy it from. But I'll put it on iTunes and Spotify to show you guys a place to buy it or look at it more. But that was a really good song to me. I've been playing this song constantly as well. It's one of those songs that I play it constantly, but not like every day constantly like Allen Forever, where I've been playing it more often lately. It's a song that I've been playing maybe about every time I'm playing some R&B song, and then I listen to some K-pop song. I immediately then like fuse those two together, and then I'm like, all right, I need to listen to Cave Me In. And then that's just a song that's a song that you play in the car while you're driving, and then you're just like, you're driving at night and you're just like, man, I need to relax, and it's nighttime, it's a chill time, it's like a Friday and it's cold. Let me play Cave Me In and just enjoy my ride. So that's one of those songs that you play. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So Music Fridays, or Music Review Fridays, and Music Fridays, whatever I happen to put in the logo. This song is from Eric Nam, Gallant, and Tablo, Cave Me In. So hope you guys can check out all three of those artists. Eric Nam has his song Interview. That's another song that I eventually want to cover, because it is pretty deep. I think it is in Korean, and it also is in English, I believe. There's English subtitles that have been officially released. And then Tablo, I'm not too familiar with his songs. It says here Tablo is a radio host, actor, or he's a past actor, entrepreneur, author, rapper. He does everything pretty much. And so hope you guys enjoy it, and take care.